For the past 19 years, David Dunn has dwelt in the shadows as the hidden superhero dubbed the Overseer by the press. However, things change when he goes after Kevin Wendell Crumb, aka the Horde, the serial killer with dissociative identity disorder. The two are captured and brought to Ravenhill Memorial Hospital by Dr. Ellie Staple. Dr. Staple believes these two's superpowers are in fact nothing more than just a psychosis that's manifested in a weird way. However, it turns out that Elijah Price is also at this asylum. He's been catatonic for years, but the mastermind always has a plan, and he feels that it's time that heroes became known to the general public. This is Glass. So, yes, this is the next chapter in the Unbreakable saga. We had Unbreakable back in 2000. After that, 17-year break, we had Split, and now this is, I'd say, the culmination, but to be honest, they do kind of sequel bait a little bit at the end. We'll get to that. This movie has a lot of really good points, but unfortunately it is really poorly paced. It takes a long time to really get to that point, those points. Like, you see these things in the trailer, like the group session with David, Elijah, and Kevin, or the Horde, or whatever you want to say. And, you know, exactly, that doesn't happen in like an hour into the film. That's how long this takes. Like, they get arrested pretty quickly on. It's like 10 to 15 minutes, but then 45 minutes of Dr. Ellie Staple, Sarah Paulson's character, basically trying to individually deal with these guys and then bringing them together into the group session. And it's all the same thing. Like, she's trying to prove that superheroes don't exist. She actually believes because they've taken MRIs and they have very active frontal lobes of their brain, and that's what's manifested in these believed superpowers. And she's actually scheduled Elijah for a lobotomy. So, yeah. But here's the thing. Throughout this whole bit, she lets on, obviously, it's like, pretty much from the beginning, she knows way more than everything. Like, she already knows David's name before he's arrested. So how did she know that? So, yeah, I'm already starting to clue in this character is either A, superpowered herself, or knows more, which, shock of shock, she does. We also get appearances from Joe Dunn, David's son, Elijah's mother, who's just known as Elijah's mother in the credits, and Casey Cook, who's the girl that the Beast let escape because she can actually bring out Kevin's personality. And they're sort of all working on their own and achieving other means of realizing things. And as this is happening, you know, Elijah, it turns out he's been faking his meds, he's fake being catatonic. He's actually tried to escape a couple of times and gotten caught, so they have security cameras all around the hospital that they're in. And yes, this is all playing into what's happening. Like, eventually, you know, Elijah makes a deal to help with the Beast, the uber-strong personality that inhabits Kevin's body, or Kevin's mind to be more precise. And then from that, you know, we get them working together, and they're the, quote, bad guys. And basically, Elijah tells David, look, there's this big new skyscraper they're unveiling in Philadelphia. We're going to blow it up, and we're going to use this chemical lab that's on one of the floors to blow it up, and you have to try to stop us. And this leads to a big confrontation on the grounds of the hospital. And it's like, that's when I clue in, again, like, oh, it was never his plan to go to this building. Like, Elijah wants to use the security cam footage and probably beam it out to YouTube or the press or something. And it's then basically Joe, Casey, and, well, not so much Elijah's mother, but yeah, Joe and Casey in particular do some investigating on their own. And Joe turns up that Kevin's father, who Kevin thought had just abandoned the family, no, he was killed in a train derailment. The train derailment that David Dunn was on, and that Elijah caused to happen. And basically this causes the Beast to lash out and punch Elijah in the chest, and he eventually dies from his wounds. And then David and the Beast fall into a vat of water, a water tank, where they're fighting, and then all these police start showing up. And this is where Dr. Ellie Staple reveals her true colors, and it turns out she is part of a... she's part of a secret society that for the past 10,000 years has worked to keep superheroes under wraps. Whenever a superpowered individual shows up, there's always more, and they need to be dealt with. It's like, we don't kill. They're not just heroes. We also don't go after villains. We're not the bad guys here. We just don't think they should. Exactly. The public can't handle that they exist. And in the fight, all the heroes die. And I thought, okay, but I knew the rub right there. Remember the security cameras? Yeah, so basically Elijah set security cameras to beam the footage to the computers of Joe, Casey, and Elijah's mother. I really wish she had an actual name. I really wish she had. I didn't have to constantly say Elijah's mother. And they take the footage and basically put it out on social media, send it to the press, and that diffuses the secret society of the Black Clover. I guess that's what they are. They all have this shamrock tattoos on their wrist, a black clover, and that's all I can really say about them. So yeah, and the reason I'm saying it this way, I know I've probably given too much of the movie again, but that's because that's really all that happens in this movie. There's just kind of periods of nothing, and it takes way too long to kind of get to it. Like, the trailers for this make it seem like it's a lot more action-packed than it is. There's just a lot of kind of dead spots, unfortunately. I mean, when they're on, they're on. I mean, when Elijah reveals his ruse and that he's not really catatonic, and he starts making the deals with the Beast and threatening David, like, that works. All that stuff works. Unfortunately, everything in between all that stuff, yeah, it just kind of runs thin. And like I said, the ending takes way too long to get to. As they basically, David gets killed, the cops take it and they hold his head underwater and he drowns. And as he's drowning, Dr. Staple reaches out and touches him to reveal, like, yeah, the truth path that's going on here. But yeah, so I basically told you what happened. So yeah, like I said, there's some really good parts, and then there's just a lot of nothing that happens in between, unfortunately, and this does fall quite flat. Unfortunately, the climactic chapter of the Unbreakable saga, I mean, I guess he's M. Night Shyamalan's probably trying to plan for that Secret Society movie, but I don't know. I mean, there were quite a few people at my screening, so it'll probably do well enough to warrant that, but yeah, this was not that great. Unfortunately, I have to give Glass a C.
Next on Trapper John.
Take your grubby hands off that!
Oh, I'm not hurting your guitar.
Guitar? Are you stupid or something?
I'm stupid. That's what people really think.
I think you're a wonderful guy.
I never even had a date before.
You're gonna meet the right woman one of these days.
Danny has a thing for you.
Whatever the relationship is between you and Danny is none of my business, but I hope there are no misunderstandings.
Trapper John, tonight at 10:30 on Channel 9.
Okay, trailer time. And so I just gotta point out there was a funny thing with our trailers because there was a glitch with the computer and only the audio played for the first two. So we got the audio for John Wick, Parabellum. There was no picture for that. We then got Pet Sematary, just the audio for that. And then finally the picture came back and we got Miss Bala, which will be that's going to be the movie I see after next week. Next week is Kid Would Be King, and then Miss Bala. Originally I was going to see the Jacob's Ladder remake, but that has been delayed indefinitely, so that just leaves one choice, unfortunately. Then we had Fighting With My Family again. We had The Curse of La Llorona. I know I butchered that. The new movie from James Wan and the Conjuring guys. So then we had Us, that's the new Jordan Peele movie, and then we had Happy Death Day to You again. So yeah, like I said, next movie is going to be The Kid Would Be King, and after that, in all likelihood, it's going to be Miss Bala. And that weekend too, that's when not only will the ForceWorks Random Trade Review be up, but also the NXT TakeOver Phoenix and the Royal Rumble recap and review. So there's a lot happening that week. Thankfully, it's the off week for the Super Bowl, or else I... Anyway, see you all next time. Hey guys, check out my Patreon and see how you can request a movie for me to review, even if it's some stinker like A Dog's Way Home or the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Also, if you like what you see, give the video a like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell.